G'day everyone, it's Justin and Scott, two dads again from BRRRRRM Australia on a lovely summer Sydney morning. Now Scott, I brought you down something along the lines of another one of our sort of unusual cars, I suppose.
Yep.
Something that, you know, a lot of people out there might not think a certain manufacturer would make.
Yep.
This is a Hyundai, believe it or not. It's a Hyundai Genesis, and it is Hyundai's first true luxury car that they've actually put out. Is it something that you think a manufacturer like Hyundai would probably do? What do you reckon?
No, it seems like a bit of a gamble from Hyundai actually. It's a new market, a very competitive market.
Yeah, it's something that Hyundai, I suppose, is new to that segment, isn't it? Putting a luxury car together.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's quite big. It's about 5 metres long, this thing. And I think as we were discussing a bit earlier, it's come to Australia in about 2014.
Yep.
And it is very, very well equipped, I think. But again, I suppose we'll drive the car.
Yeah.
And we can sort of let everybody know what we think about the luxury aspects of the car and that price equation, I suppose, isn't it?
Certainly fits into our family-friendly motto by the looks of it. Like a large car, it's going to be certainly very practical for a family. Yeah.
And I guess we'll find out how fun it is to drive too.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay. All right, mate. I thought we'd start off this review sitting in the back seat of the car.
That's a bit different.
Yeah, I thought it's the Genesis is purporting to be a luxury car.
Yep.
And you know, a lot of the time, you know, the luxury comes out in the back of the car, I suppose, with all these features like here. I notice there's a lot of controls in the back seat.
Yep.
What are your impressions of the back?
Wow. Not my normal state to be in the back of the car. I normally like to be up front and driving it.
Really?
So this is a little bit different.
Okay.
But I tell you, if I wanted to be chauffeur driven around, this feels very comfortable. You've got lots of visibility in the back. You've got lots of leg room. I mean, my legs aren't short. I normally feel pretty cramped in the back of a car.
I don't have that problem. So,
but I certainly don't feel that way in the back of this car.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, we've got heated seats in the back here. We've got all the controls to control it ourselves.
Yeah, you can even control the front seat from the back as well, like in terms of the
moving it forward and back for your legs. Yeah, so it really does have that limousine type feel. I noticed there's a little glove box here as well to store your stuff.
12-volt outlet as well.
Yep. So we've got blinds at the back here. We've got blinds on the side.
Cup holders. Yeah.
Lots of space, and then we've got access to the stereo system from the back here.
Yep, and I noticed this week when I've had the car that try not to tell the kids that that's there, because that gets annoying when you're driving the car and they're cranking up the volume and everything when you're trying to drive. So. Yeah,
okay, I can imagine listening to the Wiggles at full volume, and this car's got quite a good stereo system, hasn't it? So that full volume.
17 speakers, I read. 17 speakers in this one.
I think that's got to be near a limit, right? I think there's a point where
any
more
speakers.
I don't think you need any more speakers. So that's amazing, though, right? Great sound system. But yeah, I think in terms of family friendly, unless you could turn this off somehow, that would be quite annoying for the kids playing with it all the time.
Well, I suppose you could just do this. You just shut it back up.
Maybe that's the option.
But impression-wise, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like this.
You got this big panoramic sunroof on top too, and from the back here, you really get value for that. That's really nice. There's a real feeling of spaciousness and luxury at the back.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
It's good.
Why don't we try the front?
Let's go.
Okay, mate, we're in the front now of the Genesis. From a driver's point of view, what do you think?
Initial impressions are very good. There certainly seems to wrap around the driver quite well. All the instrumentation looks very clear on the dash. You know, can see the speedo. Some of the cars we drive are not very easy to see. This is certainly very easy to understand. And there seems to be quite a lot of technology around the safety stuff as well. Already I can see lots of hints of that in the car.
Okay. Well, why don't we go for a drive and see how she goes?
Let's go. That's good. The CD player.
You don't see many of them these days.
That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Now, mate, this Genesis comes with a 3.8 litre V6 engine.
Yes.
It puts out about 232 kilowatts. And the torque figure's about 397 newton meters of torque, but it's fairly high in the rev range. It's about 5,000 RPM. So,
well, it certainly takes off when you want it to.
Yeah.
We're talking for a fairly large car. This acceleration seems more than appropriate.
The gearbox is very smooth, isn't it? Did you notice that when we took off there? It's
yeah.
8-speed,
Eight-speed.
automatic. Yeah, I think it's coupled well with that engine. So.
Yep, very good. And absolute first impression is how quiet this car is.
Yeah, it is,
My goodness. Feels like the world's disappeared out there and just someone's put the mute button on. It is very quiet.
Yeah, it's got noise absorbing glass and stuff like that, and that's probably helping it being so quiet
Yep.
too.
So that really adds to that luxury feel.
But I guess the ride quality is really nice too. I mean, it's running 19-inch wheels on this model,
Yep.
which is the ultimate model. This one's the hamburger with a lot. It's got everything in it. But
Yep.
the interesting thing is that the car starts off at about $61,500 for a base sort of Genesis.
That's a very good entry point.
Yeah. There's a model in between called the Sensory Pack, which has a lot of safety features and things. But the top of the range one we're in today is about $82,000. So, yeah.
Okay, so that, I mean, it's getting up there at $82,000, but $20,000 for extra stuff is probably worth considering.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of luxury car features, I suppose. It's got soft closed doors in this car. The smart boot feature, where you can just walk up to the back of the car, keep your key in the pocket. Don't even have to, like some cars, stick your foot underneath the back of the car. After about 3 seconds, the car knows that you're back there, and it'll actually open the boot by itself, which is a powered boot.
Yep.
That's a really cool feature. It's got head-up display in the car. Everything's electric in this car. Like we said, 17-speaker sound system, powered seats that have got a lot of power adjustment in them.
Yep.
Everything.
Heated and ventilated in the front, heated in the back.
In the back, yeah. So it's pretty well equipped. I think you were saying earlier, mate, that it's a luxury car. I don't think it comes across very sporty, does it? It's not its forte.
No, it's not what it's meant to do. I'm just going around this corner here. It's quite a tight corner, and you get a lot of body roll, and I suppose that's to be expected for a larger car.
Yeah.
Especially with a setup that's not going to be stiff. It's going to roll to sort of make that passenger comfort.
Yeah.
We're a way away from anything sporty in this car.
Yeah.
So this is more about luxury refinement, quietness, smooth ride. And it's doing that job really well.
Yeah.
I think if I was doing a fair bit of country driving, this wouldn't be a bad car to have.
Yeah,
Wouldn't mind this on the open road, because it would just roll with all the poor Australian roads that we have in the outback.
Yeah.
And it would give everyone heaps of space to do whatever they want to do, and
Yep.
it wouldn't be a bad long distance driving sort of car.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where one of its strengths would be. Yeah, definitely.
Just feeling the brakes come down that very steep hill there, so the brakes seem well and truly well spec'd for this car, pulling up a big car. Certainly no effort at all, so I think that's really important. And we talk about the safety features. It's important that the brakes are well spec'd, and they are.
One other thing that this car actually has, mate, it's got Australia's best safety rating, NCAP rating.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think when this car was tested, it topped the charts in terms of safety. So that's pretty good.
Yep.
It also comes with a good servicing package, 5-year free servicing on the car.
Oh wow.
As well, 5-year warranty.
Yep. So that's another thing at that price point, and you're getting that as well.
Yeah.
Gee, that even makes it better. Yep.
You don't have to worry about your running costs and things like that. So things like that.
Yeah, I think when you told me about driving this car today, I had to think about it. What would it take to bring Australians to move away from the German luxury brands that they love so much, right? That have that prestige, right? It's if you're going to compete with those, how do you pull people away from what they're used to?
Yep.
And it's a really tough task. They're obviously doing it on price. That's a great starter.
Yeah.
The price of this is very sharp. There's a lot for the price.
Especially like the entry level one. I mean, at $61,500. That's for a car this size, big engine, with features such as these. That's pretty good value.
So I think it's very good value, but I think to your question around the quality, the finish and everything, on the whole it's very good, but you can sort of see a few little things that, could probably do with a little bit more luxury feel.
A little bit more finesse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The guys from Hyundai were actually telling me that the interesting point about Genesis though is the branding of it. I think next year, 2017, they're going away from having this like as a Hyundai Genesis, but keeping Genesis as a standalone brand on its own with its own models and things. A bit, I guess, like Lexus or something like that. You know, which is a great start. I mean, the car, it probably deserves that. It is, you know, somewhat different to your everyday Hyundai, isn't it? It doesn't come across as
Oh,
that,
no,
so,
I don't feel like I'm in a Hyundai.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. Yeah. I'd be very excited to see what comes out, and which I think is the third generation of this car. If they've got this far in you know, a short amount of time, the next generation could be very exciting. Yeah.
Okay, mate. You've had a drive of the Hyundai Genesis. What are your thoughts?
Certainly doesn't feel like we're driving in a Hyundai or a car based on Hyundai.
No,
it did feel like
no.
its own brand. That's very exciting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wouldn't
realise
realise if they're in this car or they see this car really that it comes from Hyundai. Doesn't it?
Exactly. Yep. I think as a place for it in the market. I think you know, if I had older kids that are getting a bit bigger, I didn't want to go the SUV route, and I wanted something with a luxury feel. It certainly has a place in the family market. It's big. It's got all the features. It's got incredible luxurious, quiet feel inside.
The safety features too, like, you know, radar cruise control. It's, you know, rear traffic alert. It's loaded with all those features, isn't it?
So many positives for this car.
Yeah.
Is it fun to drive? No, it's a big car that sort of rolls around the corners and is, you know, and rides over all the bumps nice and smoothly. You know, but it doesn't have a huge fun element. But you know, that's not what it's made to do.
That's
so,
right. I think it's fit for purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a sports car by any means. Is it? So,
Yeah.
But I think, as we discussed in the car, like if you know, what rocks your boat, I suppose, is having a lot of toys to play with in the car and everything like that. Yeah, it's got a lot of that, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I would certainly recommend people to look at this if this is the sort of thing that excites them.
Yeah. You know, 5-year warranty, 5-year free servicing. It's got a lot going for it. And I think too, like, you know, I mean, we drove the top of the range one today. It's $82,000, which, you know, for a car, I suppose, of a brand that's not really known for its luxury cars, might be a little bit up there. But then again, this car does start off at about $61,500, which you know, has a few less features.
That's sounding very compelling at 61,000.
But you know, for a car this size, it's pretty good. So yeah. Anyway, just want to put out a very big thank you to Hyundai Australia for loaning us the Genesis today. And another big thank you to everybody out there for watching us. We're almost approaching 80,000 views now, so it's going really, really well. Excellent. And Scott, that last question. Is it a car? Has it got the X factor? Would you walk away from it and turn around and look back?
No, I wouldn't. I think the X factor for this car's inside. I don't think from the outside. So I'd have to say for this one, I probably wouldn't look back.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd agree with you.
You agree on that for once? Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, we agree and disagree sometimes. We're not married. It's okay. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks.